We're a little bit over halfway through 2025. Let's go through my top 10 albums of 2025 so far right here on the Vinyl Jukebox. What's up, everyone? It's Ben from the Vinyl Jukebox, and if you haven't done so already, please be sure to leave a like and a comment below this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. So if I'm going to be honest, 2025 has been a little bit disappointing so far in terms of getting new music from artists. We've gotten a lot of cool reissues, a lot of cool live albums, but in terms of new studio albums, yeah, we've gotten some good ones, but we're still missing that great one from a big band. I feel like we haven't gotten that yet. Maybe we will towards the end of 2025, but so far hasn't really happened yet. Regardless, though, I'd like to go through my top 10 albums of 2025 so far. This list is probably going to change towards the end of the year as more albums get released and as I spend some more time with these albums. But so far, this is my list, so without further ado, let's get started. All right, so coming in at number 10, I'm going to go with Yungblud, Idols. So Yungblud's been in the news a lot lately, most notably because of his performance at the Back to the Beginning Black Sabbath Ozzy tribute show. Yungblud came on for an amazing version of Black Sabbath's Changes. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. But this album came out maybe a month or two ago, and I really think that this is kind of an evolution for Yungblud. Much more stripped down sound. More of a David Bowie, heavy rock influence for sure. And like I said, I think he's really evolving as an artist. I think that before he was very pop, kind of rap sounding, and now he's bringing in some of his rock influences. I think that this album sounds at times very conceptual. It's a very developed sound, much more mature sound. And I'm really excited to see what Yungblud has in store for the future. He's definitely at the top in terms of newer artists, and I think that he's about to get a lot bigger, definitely because of his performance at the Back to the Beginning shows. So Yungblud, Idols, number 10. Coming in at number 9, I'm going to go with an album that came out very early this year. That would be Smith Kotzen's Black Light, White Noise. This is the second full-length studio album from Smith Kotzen. Adrian Smith, obviously a guitar player from Iron Maiden, and Richie Kotzen from bands like the Winery Dogs. He also played in Poison. He played in Mr. Big. Had a very big solo career as a guitar virtuoso. And I really think that this album, being their second, is a big step forward for them from their first studio album. I think that the two of them are building a lot more chemistry. I think when you have two really great guitar players who also sing, sometimes that can lead to stepping on each other's toes. I think that the last album was a little bit too much like you sing, then I sing, back and forth duet sort of thing. Whereas this album, I think that they really took the song into account first as opposed to their own individual needs. And I think that the songs come first, and I think that there's some great songs here. I think that sometimes Richie sings a little more, sometimes Adrian sings a little bit more, and the same applies to their playing. So a great job from both of them. I think that Richie is such an underrated guitar player. I think that there's some great songs on here. Definitely Muddy Water, White Noise, Black Light. Definitely those first 3 songs are killer on this album. So number 9, Smith Kotzen, Black Light, White Noise. Coming in at number 8, I'm going to go with LA Guns, Leopard Skin. This album came out again a little earlier in the year, but I think that this album is so cool coming from LA Guns. You get that fun, sleazy rock album. Phil Lewis on lead vocals still sounds as good as ever. I think there's some great guitar work on this album. A little more stripped down kind of sound from their 80s sound, I have to say, but very catchy choruses. If you're into 80s sleazy rock, kind of that Guns N' Roses vein, definitely check out LA Guns, Leopard Skin. And this band is on a tear ever since the reunion They've just been releasing a series of really fantastic albums, and all of them are great. I think that this one's a little better than the last one in terms of the production, for sure. But great songs, great packaging. I love the album artwork. So number 8, LA Guns, Leopard Skin. Number 7, this one also came out very early in the year. I'm going to go with Dream Theater's Parasomnia. Now, this album saw the return of Mike Portnoy on drums, original member of Dream Theater. And you know, he comes back with a vengeance. I mean, his drum work is spectacular on this album. It's very heavy throughout. The concept is really cool with this whole theme of sleep and insomnia and dreams throughout the album. So I really think that those themes are cool, and the artwork, I'm not even going to take out the booklet, but if you pick this up, check out the booklet. The artwork is just spectacular on this album, and the packaging in general. So I think that this is a great return to form album from Dream Theater. The band sounds good. It seems like they're re-energized, having Mike Portnoy back in the band. So just a fantastic, fantastic comeback album from Dream Theater. Number 6, and what's funny is, so this band was kind of off my radar for years and years. My friend Eric constantly tried to get me into this band, and I was very resistant, but earlier this year, I saw this band Coheed&Cambria put on an acoustic performance in their hometown of Nyack, New York. They were receiving an award. They were receiving the key to the city or village. So I went to see them, and they were just awesome. And that same day, I went online and bought their newest studio album, which is The Father of Make Believe. So this is going to be my number 6, because this album is just awesome, and I'm not really sure which way to hold this album. They do this with a lot of their albums, I noticed, because I've bought a few since buying this one, that the orientation on here is always kind of weird with the CDs. I don't know if it's the same for the vinyl, so let me know in the comments below if they do that with the vinyl too. But this album is really cool. I think that this is much more commercial and radio friendly than some of their previous albums. Very good production on this album. It seems like the band has matured a lot. Great mix of songs. We have our peaks and we have our valleys. You know, and I just think that this album just totally represents what the band is now, how they've evolved over the years. So just a killer album from Coheed&Cambria. Definitely check this out if you're a fan. All right, number 5. I'm going to go with a band that I haven't really paid much attention to for years and years, but they released this album. I decided to stream it and check it out, and I was just instantly hooked. And I'm going to go with My Morning Jacket Is. This album really brought me back to the band. I remember listening to their earlier stuff. I kind of discovered this band through an American Dad episode. But this album really brought me back. I mean, it's catchy, it's fun, the production's amazing, band sounds excellent. I think that there's a lot of guitar-driven tracks, which is what I usually gravitate to. The album artwork is really cool on this one. But definitely check this out if you like more mellow rock. But it's definitely got some big moments to it. It's got some more chill moments. Gets folky at times, gets a little poppy at times, but still maintains that rock element to it. Didn't think I would be getting back into this band, but definitely this album is a killer album from My Morning Jacket, and one that people should definitely check out. So that's number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with a really cool up-and-coming band that everybody, I think, should know about right now. And you can see the theme of this episode here is new bands, because new bands have been killing it this year for sure. I'm going to go with the album Turnstile, Never Enough. And what's cool about this album, and I really like their last album, I believe it was called Glow On. But what's really cool about this album is the whole album seems like kind of one big song. One song blends into the other, and that's a good thing. very rocking, punky guitar riffs meet more ambient sounds. It kind of goes high and low throughout the whole album. And I really like this band's aesthetic. They do kind of like this throwback 90s look, but kind of a more modern touch to it as well. And this band is quickly rising as one of rock's most promising new bands. I know that last year, I think it was, they toured with Blink-182. Maybe it was the year before. So they're definitely getting on people's radar, but I think that they definitely fit in more of the punk side of rock, but definitely have their poppy elements and definitely have some elements that would appeal to a younger crowd for sure. But I really like this band, and I'm really hoping that they get bigger and bigger, because I think that this is one of the most promising young bands out there right now. So number 4, Turnstile, Never Enough. Number 3, this has been really a constant in terms of my playlist for the year, in terms of playing music. This is one I always gravitate to this year. Number 3 is going to be Dorothy, The Way. And this album, I think, is probably her best one so far, if I have to say. The production is so big on this one. Huge guitars, so many catchy songs. You know, throughout the album, you have themes of recovery, finding God, finding religion. It's really cool also that she has Slash guesting on the track Tombstone Town. I think that Slash plays a killer solo, Slash obviously from Guns N' Roses. More rock radio friendly tracks. I mean, you have the song I Come Alive, you have Tombstone Town. My favorite song in the album is Haunted House. I think that song has such cool lyrics to it and just a really catchy chorus too. And Dorothy is really making herself known as one of the best rock vocalists right now. And yes, I'm saying best rock vocalist, not just female vocalist, but best rock vocalist. She has such a powerful voice. I've seen her live a couple of times, 100% live. What she does on the album, she can 100% do live. But she's an incredible talent, and I think more people need to know about her. And I think that this band is definitely underrated. I think that they're one of the, if not the best female-fronted bands out there right now. So I'm really excited to see what Dorothy can do. I think that this band needs to get on a big tour. I think that's really what it is. I mean, they're doing a lot of headlining shows in small clubs and theaters. This band needs to get on a big tour. So bigger bands out there, bigger rock bands out there, you need to start taking out bands like this, because this band could definitely take over the scene for sure. All right, next up, and these last two are kind of interchangeable. I mean, I kind of go back and forth on them, but I'm going to go with number 2 on my list will be Buckcherry's Roar Like Thunder. I just saw Buckcherry this past weekend. They played a lot of tracks from this album. They sounded incredible. But another amazing album from Buckcherry. They're on a roll with their past 3 albums produced by Marty Fredrickson. And this one's a rocker from start to finish. It's all killer, no filler. Buckcherry continues to release consistently high quality albums, and this one is no different. I mean, this one's a real rocker. It's got some really memorable tracks to it. I think it's one of their best in a while. Definitely up there with one of the other 3 in this trilogy, Hellbound. So really cool. I did a full review of this album up on the channel, so I'll put a link to that below. But Buckcherry's Roar Like Thunder is number 2 for me. And my number 1 album of 2025 so far would be Metro by the Bluestones. This band is from the UK, if you don't know about them, and this has been on repeat for me since its release. I love the concept of this album, kind of like a Metro subway concept. You guys can see from the back cover here. Very big sounding album, catchy rock songs. This is a guitar and drums duo, so they're playing off of that kind of concept or gimmick, whatever you want to call it. Band's not very well known in the US. I don't think they tour here too often, if at all. But I'd love to see them when they come around. They have a very similar sound to the band Royal Blood, who's a bass and drums duo, but I think that this band's a lot more I think that they're a lot more rock based than Royal Blood has become. Royal Blood has gotten a little more poppy over the past few years. Heavy guitars meet smooth vocals, and this is another band on the verge of being huge. I think that the two-piece concept could go for or against them in a way. I'm not too sure, but definitely a band to look out for. And this one, I mean, you know, this one has definitely been a constant for me on playlists and just, you know, putting on the whole album ever since it was released. So if you haven't heard of the Bluestones, definitely check them out. All of their albums are fantastic, but I think that they've hit a whole new milestone with this new album, Metro. And there you have it, everybody. Those are my top 10 albums of 2025 so far. And please let me know in the comments below, what albums have you been listening to in 2025? What new albums would make your top list? I know that I've left out a bunch, but these were definitely the top for me. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are and what your top albums were, and we'll start that conversation. And please, 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 everybody, if you haven't done so already, please leave a like and a comment below this video. Subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. I wanted to also note that I opened up a brand new merch store for the channel. Things were not working out with the old merch store, so I did open up a new one. So I've got t-shirts, as you guys can see. These came out really nicely. Nice thick material. I like these a lot better than the old ones. Also got some coffee mugs here. I also have some pint glasses if you like drinking beer or drinking anything out of a pint glass. Those are up on the shop. I'll put a link below. Any support that you can give to the channel would be greatly appreciated, and I thank you all for not only picking up some merch, but also watching, because that's essential too. All right, everybody, so thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.